I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman trying to kill herself. She says, "I don't know why I tried to do this," and by way of explanation tells her life story. We were in book 2. Previously, in Do the Wrong Thing, Ava had her first bulimic episode, and her cousin Joey showed her his drug dealing side hustle. Last week, we ended. Joey shows me the hand-sized slab of hash before he cuts it into smaller pieces. We laugh. If Aunt Ollie knows about this enterprise, she sure isn't letting on. My enterprise is working with Regina and Jake's sister at Dardanelle summer camp. Yes, that's the Jake I went on the first date with, who Mr. Sexton accused me of cheating with. At the camp, there's a group of boys who love me. It's mutual. They're creative, smart, and enthusiastic. They crush on me, I realized last summer, after seeing them whispering in a group, then turning around to look at me, quickly looking back when they saw me looking, then changing their behavior around me afterwards, smiling in a shy but knowing way. At first, I didn't know what to do. I was flattered, but then I realized they weren't doing anything different than what I'd done with Holly's boyfriend, Mike, when he came with her to babysit. Mike's my boss here at camp. Funny, I still crush on him, too. Amongst these boys, Peter is my favorite. He has behavioral issues. His dad's an alcoholic. But the issues disappear under encouragement and approval. His younger brother acts out everything Peter keeps inside. I don't know why I'm telling you that. Maybe because I don't see behavioral issues in Peter. I'm only told of them by others, while with his younger brother, the lack of discipline is on full, chaotic display. Here's a mise-en-scene of last summer. Someone gave us a bunch of old refrigerator and washing machine boxes, so many that they filled the building we run our program out of. A yellow brick one-room affair with double doors on 2 sides and washrooms from the whole park on another. Peter's best friend, a hyper kid in bottle-bottom glasses, insists we build a spaceship. His excitement is a weak word for what he exhibits. Bouncing, arms flapping, eyes brighter than a traffic stoplight, except not red, but white or anyway, blue eyes magnified in his glasses lenses, white spots of light like diamonds lying in the grass on a bright summer day. You can't help but see them. Is there a simile for bright eyes that hasn't been done to death? The soul, blood, and life force of another human being, in this case, a young electric one. Wet, luminous, biological energy. Why am I spending so much time describing Greg's eyes? His frenetic energy quickly spreads to his friends and from there to the rest of camp. Kids ping off each other, Greg excitedly yelling as they cut, arrange, draw, and glue control panels, a steering wheel, chambers, and connecting hallways with working doors. He says it needs tinfoil, so Jake's sister goes out and buys boxes and boxes of the stuff, and the kids cover their creation inside and out. God, the massive smiles cracking their little universes open as they run back and forth through the thing playing space. All summer, kids arrive early and don't want to leave. Regina, Barbara, and I do nothing except laugh and play. There was one incident towards the end when camp was over for the day. We were cleaning up when Greg and Peter ran into the building. "These boys, they took our shoes," they cried. I looked down at their dusty, sock-footed feet and dropped my broom. "Where are these boys?" I snapped. My kids have enough problems with their stupid parents and poverty. The idea that anyone, show me, I growled. Greg and Peter led me around the building. By the tennis courts, 2 older boys with longish hair and ball caps stood. Greg and Peter's runners looped around the handlebars of the taller one's BMX. "What kind of cowards are you?" A voice came out of me, low and guttural, like I was possessed. "You attack boys smaller than you." Normally, I avoided kids like this. They were only a couple years younger than me. "Why don't you pick on someone your own size?" Yeah, the voice coming out of me was no wit. "Give them back their shoes," it commanded. The boy with the shoes on his handlebars looked startled. He unlooped the runners and threw them towards us. "If you ever bother these boys again, or any of my kids, I'll call Jimmy," the voice continued. Jimmy is the provincial police officer responsible for Dardanelle. "You'll be kicked out of this park," it finished. Greg ran to pick up their shoes. He and Peter put them on while I glared at the BMXers who kept their eyes on the dandelions sprouting from the pavement around their feet. This year, everything is different. What can I tell any kid, I think? I'm going to university in the fall where I'll live in libraries and only communicate through writing. I don't need Luke, Christian, Peter, Greg, or the rest of these children. I don't need anybody. At a dance at the Morrilton Community Center, I catch eyes with a girl a couple years younger than me that I don't know but know of because she dates a guy 15 years older than herself. He's beside her now. The girl and I look at each other. We don't gawk or curl our lips, but we don't smile either. We merely hold eyes. I understand you. This is what I try to communicate to her. I understand. I feel how strong I've become. The more pot I smoke, footnote 2, the stronger I get. I smoke with Regina, who dates older, unattractive guys who give her pot. I don't know why I don't get hash from Joey. I guess I'd have to buy it from him. We're not buying, only smoking. Footnote 2, this is the phonetic, much more accurate rendering of the word smoke. The phonetic rendering is S-M-O-H-K. I'm going to use it all the time going forward. Regina. She talks in an intense, know-it-all way, as if she's trying to make her words imprint on my brain, not in an egotistical way. I think she genuinely believes she has some deep, superior knowledge to share. I think she thinks she's protecting me with that knowledge. Meanwhile, I'm tuning her out. I'm not sure if it's her unkempt hair, long face, or her skin, which has large pores. Maybe it's her prominent nose. I don't care about social hierarchy anymore. Well, I guess that's obvious, otherwise I wouldn't hang around with Regina. Regina's going to university, though, for social work, like I was originally planning on doing. Oh, I've learned not to blush. Basically, I kill all feeling inside and become a vehicle for the cool person I want to be, not the timid one that just happens. I can lock eyes with a 16-year-old girl who dates a 31-year-old man. She doesn't scare me anymore, though he does. Both Birmingham and U of Concord accept me in their English programs. I didn't change my major request at Bismarck, which was for early childhood education. Bismarck offers me a $500 scholarship, not enough to have any effect on my decision. I choose Birmingham over the larger, more prestigious University of Concord because I don't want to live in Concord. I mean, I do, kind of, but I'll get lost there, overwhelmed by all the cool, cold, mean people. I'm sure of it. University is enough. At the park, I stand against the yellow bricks of our day program's building. It's about 2 o'clock. I stare at the pine trees, tips swaying in the breeze, hear that slight rush through them, birds and the kids playing in the field beside me. The sun bakes the well-worn road, mud packed so tight it's almost solid. I smell that mud and pine. Peter comes running up to me. Come play with us, he pleads. His eyes are uncertain, none of the joy and brightness they had last year. I roll my eyes down to look at him and shake my head. What is wrong with you? He cries. You're no fun anymore. His face twists in pain. I open my mouth to tell him. Tell him what? That I was wrong about the encouragement I gave him last year, that life is cruel and cold, and he better get used to it. I'm like a fish, mutely popping out bubbles. His eyes become wet. He runs away.